back, everybody. It's Brickdip Gaming. First and foremost, welcome to all the new people. Some of you, this might be the first video you've seen, might be the first short you saw on my channel earlier in your viewing experience. Hopefully it's been a good one. Shout out to Zayo. Zayo's been a good friend, one of the boys at Pink Elephant here in Wichita that we get to hang out with. He actually hit me up a couple days ago before we made that short, like, hey dude, bring the deck, let's make a profile on it. We got people asking, and he was gracious enough to invite us on there to kind of collab with that, which has been kind of cool. But what I want to talk about is the deck, Sacred Beast Fiendsmith. We're not going to do a deck profile. We're going to link his short down below. So this way you can go watch it, show him some love. If you haven't subscribed to him, I'm sure you have, because a lot of you probably came from him. Sub if you haven't to him. Give him a comment, interact with him, help the algorithm out. It's great. The deck profile will be there. I want to talk about the deck. I want to talk about why I think the deck is good, even if there is combo slop with it, which I know people don't like, which is fine. I understand. I don't personally like playing combo slop a whole lot, but the deck is fun. It's a new way to play the game a little bit, deck-wise, with different engines and stuff. Kind of some stuff that I've done with the deck before we go into a little bit of a combo with it. I've taken this to 3 total locals, okay? So we have the first one we talked about where we went 5-0 and we won. We got the bye round 1. We beat Memento, we beat Malice, we beat Cool Toon Angeliki, and we beat Blitzclick Ryziel. We went to a locals the very week after in the same spot at Pink. We did not do as good. We went 2-3. We lost to Canine Vanquishal. We lost to Odeon. We beat Speedroid. We lost to the Sacred Beast Mirror. I literally think that was just because we lost the die roll. That's what I kind of realized is whoever can get your eye out first and disrupt the field spell can kind of win that. And then we played Nordic Beast. So before anybody says, well, you beat 2 table 500 decks, I understand. We still won. It could have been better matchups. I totally understand. We did lose to some really good duelists. We did lose to one that does go to Nationals and play Nationals. And the Canine Vanquishal player and the Odeon player is a good local player and has gone to some regionals and won some games there. The Sacred Beast Mirror, the gentleman likes it a lot. He's actually a really cool dude, and he's learning and improving it more and more as he goes. The very next day, so we went from going 5-0, the very next week we went 2-3, and then the very next day we went 3-1 at different locals. We lost to the same Odeon player. We had a bye. We beat some Danger concoction, and then we beat Altergeist. So again, I understand we might not have the best repertoire of decks on that list besides the 5-0 day, which ironically we played the stronger decks on the day we went undefeated. But I want to talk about the deck overall as a whole. I want to run through a couple combos of it and just talk really quick. Zayo also has a combo video. Check that out. We'll put it down below too. And I kind of want to go through my thought process with this because I've had somebody ask about combos. Let's see a combo video. Let's run it. We shuffled. We're going to draw. We're going to get Engraver. We're going to get Martyr. We're going to get Perulia, Raviel, and Tract. So we have actually pretty decent extension here. Obviously, Droll's going to kill us. We're not going to like Droll. This Engraver in our hand's basically dead at this point. But we can get away with it with Tract. Like, we can shove it away and whatever. One thing that we do run is we do run the bridge in the deck. So we can kind of showcase the bridge. So we can go Tract here with this. Now, granted, we have Raviel and Martyr. We don't need to bridge this. We're going to Tract to add and then discard. We're going to go get our honorary Fiendsmith card of Mr. Fabled Lurie. We'll discard Resolution. Lurie will summon back out. We can obviously get Droll in the Lurie summon in that chain. We'll go trigger 1 here. If they have Droll, they Droll. It just kind of is what it is at that point. We can play through Droll a little bit here. It's not as great as it could be. Let's say they do drop a Droll. We can Martyr. Martyr would place Thunderclap. Thunderclap here. We place the Thunderclap. We could then Thunderclap effect. We'd reveal the Raviel to place Field Spell. And then we'd have Field Spell up there. We'd have Thunderclap. Thunderclap. So we're not totally dead in the water here, which is really nice. You could then use the Field Spell to get rid of here. We could summon from deck. You can name it. You can really do whatever you want. You can go with Haman. You could then use the Martyr to make 2 more. You can send it off here to then summon out. You could summon out Raviel. Now we have a Varudris here. And then you could go into Fiendsmith stuff and you could basically end on Verudra Caesar, which is really nice. We might as well just do it since we're already running through it at this point. So we would make the Verudras here. We could link off the Lurie to the Requiem. You go Rec Effect here for Lacrima. We'll dump Engraver. So now we have an Engraver in hand, which isn't great. But what we can do though is we can go the effect of Engraver. We shuffle back Lurie. We summon Engraver. Shocker. Fiendsmith stuff. Then you can go for a Link 2 into the sequence, and then you could go with the sequence effect, because we are going for, the reason why I like to run it, is we're going for Fiendsmith Lacrima. So, we'll shuffle back Lacrima and Requiem, and we'll make Fiendsmith Lacrima. We'll go Lacrima, target Engraver. We still haven't added. So just because I don't want a Link 2 on board, I'll just equip it here, and then we could just make Caesar. You can put these in defense mode, you can put them in attack. Defense is probably fine for this. And we can end on that. That's through Droll. That's with having Martyr in hand, obviously, and having a Raviel to reveal for the field spell. So, little situational in the hand there. But, if we back it up all the way to what we were talking about before, we talk about the bridge, okay? So, the bridge to this deck, to get it from Sacred Beast to Fiendsmith, is a fun one. Zayo actually told me about it. We were kind of chatting about it in the DMs. I don't think I do it as efficient as he does, per se, but it is very fun to do, and it works. It's intriguing. It makes you think a little bit. So we'll back up to the Lurie portion. We have our hand up here. We don't have Fallen Paradise. We just have Lurie, okay? No Droll, no Ash, no nothing. We kind of showed how to play through Droll with that a little bit. I know it's kind of off the stiff cuff, but we did it. Verudra and Caesar's pretty good, just through Droll. So we'd take Lurie here. We'd make Requiem. We'd Requiem. We'd summon Lacrima. You would then Lacrima effect, dumping Engraver. So then now we can Engraver, target Lurie to summon Engraver. So now you're thinking, do we just make sequence? No, not necessarily yet. We'll get there though. You can go here, and you can banish Mr. Tract. We can Tract, and we can Fuse. We'll Tract and Fuse for what I like to make Lacrima. We'll Lacrima to summon Engraver. And then we take 2, just because we have bodies, and it puts an extra level 6 Engrave so we can do some other stuff. Then we have Sequence. We can go here, looking at Grave. We have 5 Light Fiends in Grave right now, which is very nice. We can go Sequence Effect to Fuse. So, we'll make Aerial Eater, and we can shuffle back Lurie, and we can shuffle back Requiem. So now, let's say we don't have this Raviel in hand, for this sake here. We'll put, let's say we had a Fu in hand here, okay? Instead of Raviel. We can go Aerial Eater effect on summon. We can send a Fiend from deck to grave. So we'll send our Raviel. Okay, so here's where we are. We have Sequence, we have Eater, we have Raviel in grave with a bunch of Fiends in grave. It's a good spot to be in, I think. I'm pretty happy being here. So, what we do now is we take our 2 Fiend monsters, we can link them off here for Lord of Yama. We'll go Yama on summon, add an Unchained monster from deck or grave to hand. So, let's go get our Unchained Soul of Sharvara. So, if we look at our hand now, we have Engraver, Perulia, Fua, Martyr. We have Yama on board. We have Eater, which we can summon back, which would be great. So now you could do a couple things. Okay, you can banish the Aerial Eater, or you can banish some of the Aerial Eater. What we can literally do is we can take one of our hand traps right here, and we can normal summon. Okay, because all we need is a Fiend a Fiend to go into Unchained Soul of Rage. 2 monsters, including an Unchained Soul monster. We don't even need a Fiend. So now we have here. So now you're thinking, what the hell are we doing? Why is this going on? We can go Sharvara, target to pop. And now we'd go Rage Effect to add a Fiend back from graveyard to hand. So we would go we target a Fiend. My apologies. Target a Fiend. We'll target Raviel, who's a Fiend. Add it back to hand. Now, Nibiru's probably already hit the field 95 times over, but now we have Raviel back in hand. And now, to summon Eater, we'll banish 2 level 6s. And we can summon Eater. And then, you could just overlay for 2 6s into your Caesar. That's how you bridge all the way back. So now we have Martyr and we have Raviel. Let's keep going. We can Raviel effect, reveal, to add a monster, a Sacred Beast monster, and then we discard a card. We can discard the Fua in hand. We don't need Fua in hand anymore. And now we could do the same thing with Haman. We get Haman effect. We can reveal Haman. We're going to go get a Sacred Beast spell. How much combo slop do you want? The answer is yes, is what everybody wants to say. We're going to pitch Engraver. So now we've already kind of recycled our hand. We have cards in hand that we want that we're going to play. Well, Sacred Beast release, we're going to add 3 Sacred Beast monsters with different names, and then discard 2. So we can grab Raviel here. I like to grab off this Uriah because we already have other names in hand, and for sure we want to grab Summoner. And then we're going to have to discard. So we can discard the Haman and the Raviel, and we keep Summoner, Uriah, and Martyr, and the other Raviel. So, a couple things we can do here. We don't have a normal summon. We've already used our normal summon at this point, which is totally fine. You can summon our effect, revealing, pitching. We'll summon Martyr. We'll Martyr effect on summon to place Thunderclap. We'll Ignition, Thunderclap. We can reveal one of these 2 to place the other 2 in Field Spell. And we go Fallen Paradise of the Sacred Beast. So, we should have 2 level 10s in hand, which is nice. We like having 2 level 10s in hand. It's pretty cash money groovy. We're going to banish Summoner. And we can summon out here Raviel. So we're nib protected. We have any, well, nib would hit like I said already, but we are nib protected with Caesar. We've summoned way more than 5 times already, but this is the kind of board that we're at now. So you can do a couple things. You can go right away into making Martyr, to make Martyr 2 extra bodies here. But what we can do is we could use one of the best parts about this in Fallen Paradise of the Sacred Beast. We'll go effect since we control a Sacred Beast whose original level's 10. We'll draw 2 cards. So we could just we'll draw a Droll and we'll draw another Haman. So nothing super duper crazy here, but we get interrupt for next turn if they can clear the board somehow. So we could do this. This is where we can get kind of fun and kind of goofy. We can go Martyr effect to summon 2 more Martyr because we control another Sacred Beast monster. So notice I still have Summoner Engrave over there, and I have Raviel here. I want to try to keep as many bodies on board in case for some reason I get stuck mentally on it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game where you think a whole lot, and sometimes I get lost. I have no issues admitting that. Sometimes I confuse myself and I try to go too fast. We're going to link 1. So here's one thing we'll talk about in a second, though, is I'm going to make Anima. This is a $5 card. You don't need to have a $5 card. You can have a $2 card and link Karibo. You could have other level 1s, or link 1s that you can make. The example that I use is Link Karibo when we start talking about the finances of the deck. So right here, we could straight up make Access Code Talker, or Protect Code Talker. I don't like to make Protect Code Talker right away, personally. We can Link Climb a little bit more because sometimes I don't necessarily want to get rid of the sequence, even though we're basically running through our whole deck as it is anyway. Sequence is there, we could just banish it at that point, and we could realistically take the Martyr and the Anima, and we could just go right to Protect Code Talker, which we'll do for the sake of the video. Might as well. So now, you're thinking, okay, what are we going to do now? Why, we're on a weird spot with Protect Code Talker, we have a Caesar, we have a Raviel, what are we doing? A couple things is what we can do. We could take the Protect Code Talker and the Raviel, and we can make Firewall Dragon. And then we could use Protect Code Talker's quick effect now, and we could banish the 1, and we can banish, you can even do the 2 for the Unchained Soul of Rage. We have access to 2s, which is nice. So then, we go to Firewall Dragon. Under our Firewall Dragon co-linked with Protect Kotaker. So then we can go Firewall Dragon's effect. We can just target the Martyr to add Martyr back to hand. You can take the Martyr in hand and Firewall Dragon now to make Xena. And now since we used a monster from our hand to make Xena, we can dump a monster from our deck to our grave. Which, you guessed it, Spell Canceller. So, now we can take Protect Kotaker for 3 and Xena for 1. Protect Code will banish because we summoned him from the graveyard. And we can make Charmer, Quartet, and Bloom. So now, it's very important here that we do not do something dumb. You do not need to summon out Spell Canceller yet. Spell Canceller can stay in the grave right now. Because what we can do is we can Fall in Paradise, we can send the Thunderclap, and we can summon out your Summoner again. You can even go Summoner effect. We can pitch Haman to summon out the... So Summoner's cool, because you can summon it from... you can discard the card, and then special summon a Sacred Beast from hand or graveyard if it's position. I had to make sure to read it right. Make sure I wasn't getting the wording wrong from it. So we can summon the Uriah. I like to have the Uriah value in my hand, personally. But we've already discarded the Haman. So what we can do, we can just summon Haman again. And what's really cool, if you really, really, really want to overextend and push further and have a bigger board, which why not at this point, you could use Fallen Paradise again for the 3rd time. We could send these. And we can summon out another Haman. So then now, we could take this here. We can make a Varudris. We can special summon here to make a Colossus. We can go Charmer Quartet effect, targeting Xena and Spell Canceller. Here's Xena, here's Canceller. There it is. That's it right there. There's a good chance I screwed something up there along the way. I kind of get a little lost, especially when I'm trying to talk through it as I go. I do a lot better slowing down in tournament. But regardless, even if we messed something up, it would be on the 2nd summon of the Haman. You would just have that instead. Which there's nothing wrong with that. I understand it's combo slot. People are going to hate it. I get it. The Sacred Beast stuff plays really well into the combo slot version of this. This board's tough to break. I mean, let's just call it how it is. They can't add, except by drawing. They can't activate spells, even if for some reason they do get to summon special summon effects. We have 2 negates there, and we have an Omni for like an evenly matched. I'd say that's pretty good. Now, our deck has been ran through, and our extra deck, we don't really have much in our extra deck anymore. The deck's fun. Play it however you want. You don't have to play combo slop. You can play it with not Unchained stuff. I do recommend the Unchained to kind of bridge ourselves back. That's how we got to that point, if you recall. It is a little long and wonky, but I'd say it's fun. Once you get it down, you get it down. That's for sure. I do want to talk about the overall affordability of the deck. So this is one of the reasons why I think I like the deck and why I kind of gravitated to it. Because one, I thought they were cool. I thought the cards are really good support for, I guess you can call it a new archetype, but it's an old archetype because the cards don't synergize with the old ones. I put everything into TCG Player. I checked the price. So for the 24 card Sacred Beast Core with the Fusion, which we have in the side deck, it comes out to $7.21. Everything is cents besides the Fusion. The Fusion does cost like $2, $3. The 9 card Fiendsmith stuff with Aerial Leader comes out to $6.05 with 3 of that being in tracked. The 3 card Unchained Bridge. So realistically, it's Yama, it's Rage, and it's Sharvara. Yama's going to be your big price point. It comes out to a total of $13.81 with Yama being about $12 of that. Which can get a little pricey for some people. I know people don't want to pay the $13 for a card. I understand completely. I did run 4 Mulch Armies, double Fua, double Prulia. That comes out to a total of $25.29 for the 4 Charmies. Now, what I will say is the Charmies, the Ash, the Called by the Grave, the Crossout, they all come in the structure deck. I believe they all come in the 5Ds one too. So, if you already bought them, you already got them. You don't have to spend the extra money on it. That could cut a significant piece off. The 7 on engine of the 3 Ash, the 1 Droll, the Crossout, The Called by the Grave, and Spell Canceller is $2.76. So there's still 9 more cards in our extra deck that aren't factored in. I run Anima. You do not have to run Anima because Anima is about a $5 card, depending on which version you get. I think all of them about $4 to $5 a piece. You can get Link Karibo, that's about $2, $2 and change. That does the same thing. The 9 cards in the extra deck, it comes out to $31.40, with the bulk of it being in Varudris, which I believe was sitting about $6. Caesar was about $4. Charmer was $7. Those are the bigger ones. Xena's about $1. Protect Code's another big one at like $6, $7. So for 56 cards, what I had, it came out to $86.52. That doesn't include shipping, obviously. $86.52. So the one thing that I do want to touch on is the structure decks, the starter decks, the legacy decks, whatever you want to call them. They have staples. Fua, Perulia, Ash, Droll, Called by the Grave, Crossout, they're in there. Go get them. You should already have them, for the most part. Unless you just can't afford to do it, which I understand. I totally understand. Money's a factor in this game. This game can be really cheap to play, and it also cannot be really cheap to play. But if we take out the $25 in Charmies, now the deck's down to $61. That's pretty nice, if you ask me. If you don't run the Yama, now we're below 50. If you can't afford Varudris, you don't have to make Varudris in the deck. You can make Caesar in the deck instead. If you can't afford Varudris, now we're getting lower. We're almost under $40 now. I will say, though, that, and I understand the Sacred Beast stuff is cheap right now. That's $7 part of it. But nothing is over $1 besides the Fusion. These cards are cheap. They're supers. They're bulk in Chaos Origins. There's people that have pulled it that could probably give it to you if you like bartered hard enough. Because I know personally when I trade with people, if it's like less than $1, really, I don't really worry about it a whole lot. Unless it's like a big deal where like it actually matters. Like if it's like, hey dude, can I get the Summoner off you? I'm like, yeah bro, just take it. Like it's not a big deal. That's cheap. The traps, the Sacred Beast, or Abyss of the Sacred Beast and Combined Assault, they're like 5 cents. Hamon's like 20 to 30 cents. Raviel's like 30 cents. Uriah's like 30 cents. Summoner's like 25 cents. They're all cheap. You could pick it up no problem. Fiendsmith's been reprinted into the ground at this point. That's cheap. Tract is going to be $3. And I think that came in, Glorious Gallery when it got reprinted again. The Yama is going to be an expensive piece. Sharvar is cheap. Rage is cheap. You don't have to run the bridge if you don't want to. You can run it pure. You can get Card of the Soul. One thing I say with Card of the Soul, that card is inflated in price because people want to play it and people say, okay, well, it's a need. You could buy it, like, not from an American vendor and get it from, like, a European vendor, and it's cheaper. Sure, you'll have to pay the taxes and the tariffs and all that kind of stuff, but it's not going to be $18 a copy. The Spell Canceller is cheap. The extra deck, that's the part that kind of sucks with the extra deck, is the extra deck does get a little pricey. Charmer Quartet's a great card. That's why it's pricey. Caesar's a great card. Has been a staple for a long time. If you already have the Fiendsmith stuff, you probably already have Caesar. Like that's just the reality of it. Check with people. Try to do partial cash, partial trade, or try to do all trade, or try to do something to like make up the difference. You don't have to just go, oh, dude, this is $12. I don't have $12 to get it. And I know some people are going to only want cash. I totally get it. I understand. I've been that guy, and I've traded with those guys before. But if you're like, hey, dude, you want to do partial? If they say no, they say no. It is what it is. If you got $5 and $10 worth of cards, try to make something happen. I think this deck is fun. The Sacred Beast stuff is basically bulk. Some of the Fiendsmith stuff is essentially bulk. Sharvara is basically bulk. You can make this deck cheap. That's the best part about it. This doesn't count the side deck. The side deck is just a bunch of stuff that I had laying around. Whether it's Kaijus, or it's common Lightning Storms, or it's common Raigekis, or it's thrust from the structure decks that I have. That's what's nice about these structure decks. They can start you off. That's the whole point. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's a fun budget option. It's combo sloppy. I get it. Little combo in there. Shout out to Zeo. Shout out to all the boys at Pink Elephant. If you got any questions, leave them down below. Go check out Zeo. His stuff will be down below too. Appreciate all the love and support on everything. And we'll talk to you guys later.